McGowan, who was in my show. And so I said, sure, when do you want to use it? So he said, how about tomorrow morning? And I said, fine. Give me a call. I'll let you in. You go in the living room and help yourself. So I ordered some coffee for them and everything. And they went to work, started rehearsing on my piano in the living room. And it was morning, so I just got up. So the first thing I do when I get up in the morning, of course, go to the bathroom. You know, I think that everybody does that. And so I took off my robe and hung it on a hook.
That's a good start if you're going to the bathroom.
And I didn't have any clothes on. And I figured, well, they're in the living room rehearsing. And so I'm sitting on a throne. And I don't like to call it a Johnny.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I lit a cigarette, which I like to do. And I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, the door opens to the bathroom. I hadn't locked it, and the maid came in. And I was so embarrassed, you know. And the maid said, I thought you were playing the piano. And I said, no, I'm not.
Good.
So anyway, well, I couldn't believe it. So I said to her, would you excuse me, please, you know? And she said, well, who's playing? I said, my musical director. She said, oh, your brother George? I said, no. He's in Las Vegas.
This is why you're still sitting here?
Yeah. And the more I tried to get rid of her, the more she asked me. She said, what's George doing nowadays? So I said, well, he's looking after the museum. So she said, you got a museum? So I'm sitting there, you know, and I said, yeah. And so I was smoking a cigarette, and I thought one way to get rid of her was to ask her to get me an ashtray. So I said, would you mind getting me an ashtray? And I thought when she goes to get the ashtray, I'll run up quick and lock the door, see? She said, just drop the ashes on the floor. I have to clean it. So anyway, I kept saying, you know, this, can I be honest with you? I said to her, I'm terribly embarrassed.
Yeah.
Would you mind leaving? We'll talk about this later, you know. And she said, what are they playing? What's that song he's singing in there? And I said, it's one of the new numbers in the show. She said, are you going to be doing it tomorrow night? I said, yeah, I think so. And the more I tried to get rid of her, the more she asked me, and she said, how's your mother? You know. Oh, I said, she passed away a couple of years ago. Oh, she said, oh, I didn't know that. She said, oh, I'm so sorry. I met her once, she said. And then she started telling me how she met my mother once. And I said, honey, please, you know, would you mind? I don't have any clothes on, you know. Could you come back later? And she said, what do you have in your museum? And I said, all kinds of things. I collect everything. She said, you're a collector. What do you collect? And I told her, you know, I found myself going through this list of things. And she said, I'm a collector, too. And I said, well, what do you collect? And now I'm starting to ask her questions. I couldn't get rid of her. I thought, well, she's so used to seeing me this way now, what difference does it make?
You're lifelong friends by then. That's a wonderful story.
True.
That's a real fan. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Great.